In a previous video you were able to see how I made a frame for a large Alice pack. Later I was able to buy a medium Alice pack with a frame. I decided that I would upgrade it and modify it to my specifications. There are plenty of videos on YouTube about how to modify your Alice pack. Hopefully this video will include most of the sensible ones. The first thing to do when you get any new piece of equipment is to read the manual, and there are plenty of manuals online for Alice packs. The second thing to do is to examine the pack to see if there's any repairs that need to be made now. Then put the straps on properly. Just because the straps are on one way when you get them doesn't mean they're on the right way. Unlike the Swedish LK35, the external frame on the Alice pack is made of aluminium, which means it bends easily. So, having got the Alice pack, check that the frame is unbent. If it is bent, then carefully, and I must stress carefully, force it back into shape using gentle but concerted pressure. Having checked the frame, reattach the pack to the frame following in the instructions. For example, don't just tie off at the bottom, loop the webbing strap round twice and then tie it on. The most useful modification I've found is making a handle that fits across the top of the frame so you can move the rucksack from A to B very easily. After having put a double loop of paracord outboard of the two shoulder strap retaining bars, I then used a cobra stitch to hold the four pieces of paracord together and bulk up the handle so it would be easy to carry. I also put a slight kink at one end of the handle so I would be able to distinguish it from other items with similar handles in the dark. There is a strip of webbing around the top of the pack. This is used for attaching other items. Every so often it has an eyelet. You can use these eyelets to thread through some paracord for attaching other items. Often the simple improvements and repairs are the best ones. I've made two updates to the straps. First of all, I've attached some paracord to the hole in the lifting buckle. This makes life a lot easier when you want to slacken off the rucksack. A press stud holds down the buckle that holds the two parts of the shoulder strap together. I found that one of these was not very secure, so I wrapped it with sniper tape, enough to stop it moving under normal conditions, but not enough to stop it when you tried to tear open the buckle attachment. To provide some more internal support for the sack, a piece of corrugated plastic was measured, cut to size and edged. It was then placed in the bottom of the pack. This would allow packing to go on more easily and more efficiently. At least one other site has described the need for a sternum strap. Personally, I found the medium Alice pack didn't need one. However, I did use a pre-made one and it seemed to work, although the pressure exerted underneath the retraining straps may have been part of the problem of the shoulder strap catches coming apart. I decided I would make my own from the scrap box with some thinner webbing. The Alice pack system is old but tried and tested. It only has one major fault, and that's the difficulty of manipulating the main strap buckles, especially if your hands are cold or you're wearing gloves. Changing the buckles on the main strap changes the whole character of the pack. My answer was to use the existing buckles, feed through some webbing, bend it over and attach a new buckle. This would mean the least damage and the least amount of sewing. The only real damage was cutting open the foldovers at the end of each strap, feeding them through the buckle and re-sewing them. I could cut the straps shorter to make them easier to use. However, you can always cut straps shorter, you can't cut them longer, so I'll leave it for a while and velcro over the excess. It doesn't really matter on the external pockets because although they have buckles, they're kept down with press studs. So entry and exit is using the press studs and adjustment is using the buckles, so you don't use them very often. It is fairly easy to improvise a waist strap. All you need is a strap long enough, you pass it behind the hip support pad and fasten it at the front, turning the medium pack into an assault pack. Not a modification, but a not very often seen change. The process is fairly simple and probably takes longer to explain than actually do. First of all, undo the retaining straps at the bottom. Turn the pack inside out. And then you should find 3 sets of laces and 3 D-rings. Cinch up the pack by fastening the laces tightly to the D-rings. Then turn the rucksack right side out as it was before. Wrap the strap around the frame and then pass it through the channel you can see in the middle of the picture. Then tie it off with the normal buckle. You've then turned the medium Alice into an assault pack. You can do this using the frame or not and having it as a soft pack. There are many accessories that can be bought for the Alice pack. Although cheap, postage from the USA is often horrendous and pushes the prices sky high. Rather than pay almost £19 for a waterproof liner for the lid, I decided I would take a large Ziploc bag, fold it in 3, put it through the smaller hole, then open it out. This provides a waterproof layer and a waterproof bag for use with smaller items such as maps. The attachment buckles are held on by 2 press studs. The 2 bases for the press studs have a gap behind them. These gaps can be used for carabiners for holding light objects temporarily. Similarly, a cord passed from one side of the frame underneath the buckle fastenings and to the other side of the frame and pulled tight can be used to quickly reduce the size of the medium Alice pack and turn it into an assault pack. So thank you for watching, commenting and hopefully subscribing. So now's the time to load up, to get out there, get training, because you know it makes sense and it'll serve you well.